Well, today let's put the spotlight then on AI-powered mobile keyboard and chatbot that offers content generation and translation as well as grammar, spelling, etc. And it goes by the name of MyGenie AI. We've got Sean Chauhan, who is the founder of the company, now joining us. Good to have you on board. Thanks so much for taking time out. Sean, to begin with, just tell us what exactly MyGenie does.
Okay, so MyGenie AI in a nutshell is basically an AI-powered keyboard. Imagine, I'm pretty sure all of you must have heard of ChatGPT, which is a large language model, which a lot of people have been using nowadays. So what we essentially did was we took this large language model and we directly plugged it into your iPhone or Android keyboard. And now you can essentially use ChatGPT in any app you want without switching apps or opening ChatGPT and copy pasting stuff. It's all about the added convenience factor.
So, you're currently studying. So how did you even come up with the idea? How did you actually go ahead and develop the app?
Oh yeah, definitely. So what happened was ChatGPT came around in November, December last year. And as soon as it came around, it kind of spiraled out of control where everybody was using it, especially I'm in college right now. I'm doing my undergrad, and everybody in college was using it, students, teachers, everybody you could think of. And as a result of it, I was personally using it for projects or research purposes. And I realized that this has a lot of potential. And on the App Store and Play Store, there were a lot of apps coming around which were bootleg ChatGPT chatbots, which did the same thing as ChatGPT, but they basically just use the API to get information. So we thought we could use the API and make something more of value, where people could sort of get more value out of the product they sort of download on their phone. And that's when we thought that, oh wow, we had this moment where we kind of just understood that attaching AI directly into your keyboard would probably be a really good idea, because it not only allows the user to use AI in any app they want, but also it's all about the convenience, if that makes sense, whether it's writing or composing anything for social media, or writing an email as a student or as an employee for a company, or even essentially translating, communicating with teams where in different countries for your company, if that makes sense. And as soon as we thought of it, we started working on it in about January or Feb, and it took us about 3 or 4 months to complete the whole project, because we realized that building a keyboard itself for a mobile phone is not as easy as it looks, because there are no templates you can follow or templates available online that you could look at, because every sort of key on a keyboard has to be hard-coded, and every pixel needs to be coded yourself. This is because Apple, Samsung, and all these other big phone companies, they do not actually open source their keyboard templates because they worked really hard on it. And we had to make a lot of integrations for whether it's autocomplete or just text generation, stuff like that.
So I have to ask, because I'm sure this question is top of mind for everyone, how is this different from ChatGPT?
Okay, so what exactly makes it stand out from ChatGPT is the fact that for ChatGPT at the moment, they have an app, but you need to keep switching between apps to use it. I know it's a small problem, but the issue is that we've directly taken ChatGPT and plugged it into your keyboard, which means that it's literally any app you open, whether it's WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, iMessage, it will literally be there at all times on your keyboard. Think of it like an emoji keyboard, but it's literally in front of you. So it's about literally, you don't need to think twice. You just know the buttons that you click on it, you type whatever you want, or you want to translate, you click on it, it'll automatically translate it immediately. So that's where we're different from ChatGPT, and also the fact that we prompt engineer your prompt. So if that makes sense, what makes it unique is the fact that we can you can adjust your tone, you can adjust the length of what you're writing, you can adjust a bunch of different features literally on the keyboard itself without thinking twice.
Got it. And won't it be a challenge then, competing with some of the very well-entrenched, established players with big pockets that have been way ahead of the game in the AI space?
Oh no, definitely. I mean, at the same time, though, one thing many of you might have noticed is this is sort of leveled the playing field. Where in like a year back, before ChatGPT came around, only those companies which had like proprietary knowledge of like AI language models could, not even language models, just AI and ML could like create products like this. But the fact that now ChatGPT has come around, you can literally just there are companies right now and individuals, in fact, not even companies, that have that started creating apps and web apps or whatever you call it themselves, and they've already garnered like hundreds of thousands of users immediately, like in a matter of like a couple of weeks. Even MyGenie AI right now has about 6,000 like users as we speak. And this is and what I meant by saying that it has leveled the playing field is that anybody can now use these APIs and create products of value that ChatGPT or bigger companies sort of cannot do as fast. When it comes to like freelancers or people working on their own, they can work at a much faster pace, and the more technologies they use and learn, especially when it comes around like utilizing these language models. In my model, in my head, they're way faster when it comes to individuals working on them as compared to companies, because the decision making is way slower in these larger companies. If that makes sense. We started off with a mobile keyboard where we thought, we thought of a problem and we came up with a solution for it. And we thought of making it more convenient for people and, just allowing you to use AI at your fingertips at all times. And so now the next tool that we're building right now, which is currently in progress, is a similar tool, but it'll be for your, desktop, or like for your browser on your desktop. So by this, what we mean is it'll be like a Chrome extension for like your Google Chrome. And you know how you have plugins, so you can essentially download this plugin and attach it to your Chrome browser. And what it will do is basically it'll do similar things to the keyboard, where you can generate text with like via chatbot, adjusting like the tone, the length, the voice of people like you want to talk to. That'll be one of the features it has. But another important feature that it'll have is you'll essentially be able to upload your own documents, or like documents like a PDF or like a research paper, and then you'll be able to chat with that. So essentially the knowledge base you'll be chatting with it'll be limited to the document you like sort of submit to it. So ChatGPT won't give you a response based on the knowledge it has, but it'll give you the response based on that document itself, like if that makes sense. So that's one feature it's going to have. Another feature will be that it'll be able to go through YouTube's, like, so if you're watching a YouTube video, you wouldn't have to watch like a long 30-minute video, like, where, actually spending 30 minutes on it. You can essentially just chat with the video itself. So then you can like ask the video questions in like the chatbot, and then the chatbot will respond based on the content of the video. So essentially you can get like really hyper specific information in a matter of seconds, instead of like, actually spending a long time watching a video. So that's another feature it's going to have. And another really important one, which will like, be really helpful for like communicating, will be like ChatGPT or like just AI integrated into your emails. So now when you're like, drafting an email, you'll automatically get recommendations in like, the draft you've opened. And then you can literally just type in, respond to this thread or respond to this email. And it will automatically understand the context of that email by reading the previous like messages. And it'll draft like a response for you, and then you can edit it, and then you can send it, if that makes sense. So it's going to have a bunch of different features, but it'll be using AI for like, just succeeding at all of them.
So will you be offering a mobile app as a subscription as well in the next few months?
App right now is currently live on both the App Store and the Play Store. And the one way that we made this unique is we made it completely free to download and like use. The only like unique thing about this is that you will basically not be like we have no subscription at all right now. You will be inputting your own API key, for which you'll have to make an account with OpenAI. You'll be copying that API key, and then you'll just be inputting that into like the app itself. And then you will be like essentially paying for your own usage, which is like, barely any, it'll be like a couple cents for how much ever you use.
And how many subscribers so far have downloaded the app? What's your game plan and target?
Okay, so last I checked was yesterday. We have about 6,200 users as of now. Like, people signed up, and they're using it.
And finally, Sean, just take us through the outlook in the long term. How do you plan to grow the business? What is the outlook for MyGenie?
The long-term vision is essentially scale the app or scale like all the products to a certain level, about like 3, 4, 5 lakh people using it consistently. And then once you have such a large volume of transactions happening every day, then after that point, we can sort of introduce a subscription and then monetize the users that actually really want to use the app. And the goal is to keep adding newer features to, whether it's the mobile app or whether it's like the Chrome extension, and just make sure the user is like all his like wishes are being fulfilled in a way, and everything he or she wants to do, like on their mobile app or the desktop with AI, we're on top of those things and introducing newer features like as we go along.
Thanks so much for taking time out and joining in.